We are live on YouTube. And now I'll let everybody in.
Right, love.
You can start whenever you like.
Okay, love. Starting with a breath and a song in my heart. I'd like to invite everyone today, whether you're tuning in live or actually catching the class after. Thankfully, the classes are recorded on YouTube and Facebook. So of course, feel free to, if you happen to miss the live class today, know that there are other options for taking the class. And so I'd like to begin by inviting you to maybe roll your shoulders back and down. And then making sure that your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your footrests. If you have footrests, your sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine is long, shoulders back and down. And then an invitation to take a moment to bring your awareness to your breath. And place one hand on your yoga belly. So the area between our navel and our pubic bone, if that's available to you. And maybe noticing that as we breathe in, belly expands. As we breathe out, belly moves in. So maybe placing another hand on your heart space and noticing the pattern of movement of the breath in your abdomen and upper torso. And maybe change placement of your hands. And then let's see if we can invite the breath to be just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And notice the length of the exhale. So when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding stress and tension. I'd like to encourage you, whenever possible during your yoga class today, to bring your awareness back to a deep, easeful breath. So if your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes open. And so we are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. And so roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. As ready, tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. So from here, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands together and rub your hands together a little. Take your hands apart, maybe noticing a little warmth, heat between your hands. And we can play with this a little bit if you'd like to explore moving your hands a little further apart and closer together. And turn your palm up, reaching to the sky. So only as high as feels comfortable for you. And then on your exhale, as you lower your arms, I'd like to invite you to sound the sound Ma with me to honor Mother Nature as you lower your arms. Ma. So bowing our head towards our heart gives us a little nerve flossing for Inhale, reaching up to the sky. So maybe turning a soft gaze up. If you're indoors, maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. If that feels okay for your neck. And then slowly sounding the sound Ma. Breathing in, things expand, reaching up to the sky. On your exhale, things contract. Sounding Ma. Roll your shoulders up and down, wiggly fidget. I always like to say be creative. So creativity helps with anxiety. And so let's repose. Make sure your sits bones are sharp on the chairs. You could do a little bum dance. Lengthen up through your spine, right up through to the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back. Then from here, I'd like to invite you to begin to move your arms in ways that you do not typically move your arms. So if it works for you, you can imagine that your arms are like seagrass, making its way up towards the light. So stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. So if it feels comfortable, it can be interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements. So now we're getting into the deeper connective tissue in our body, fascia. And then I'd like you to notice where in your body you're holding stress and tension. And then see if you can send some of your breath to that area. Our breath is part of our life force. And then moving on, maybe noticing where it doesn't feel like there's so much energy moving. It feels a little blocked, maybe. All the more reason to send our breath there. So we don't only breathe into the bicep that we can stretch or flex, pardon me. And slowly, wherever your body is still talking to you, breathe into that area. Maybe pause there for a moment and then slowly come on back to stillness. Allow your arms to float down by your side, then on your lap. And take a moment to let your belly soften. Let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Your natural rhythm. So you might observe the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then moving on, invitation to tap your fingers. So I'd like to choose as a theme today for the class, I am, I can, and I will. Feel free to set your own intention. So intention can be a powerful practice when done sincerely. And tapping our fingers, playing a little air piano. And then when you're ready, invitation now to stretch your palms. So extension and contract. Stretch your palms, extension and contract. Arms can be as high or low as you like. Extend, contract. As ready, begin to rotate your wrists. So most of us use our hands more than our feet. I'd like to invite you to take a moment to look at your hands with appreciation for all that they do. And then as ready, rotate your wrists in the opposite direction. And if it's helpful, you can imagine that you're moving your hands through water. And push your hands away. Sitting up nice and tall. So I'm comfortable with my arms a little lower than my shoulders today. Yours might be up a bit higher. And then make soft fists. Draw your arms back. Push your hands away. Draw your arms back. So we'll continue this movement for a few more breaths. And so push your hands away. So with this gentle movement, not only are we getting into all the joints in our arms, so getting that synovial fluid, Mother Nature's WD-40 flowing into our bone or our joints, pardon me. We're also getting into that area of the back between our shoulder blades. So it's like we're giving ourselves a little back massage. Push your hands away, pull your hands back, relax your arms by your side, then on your lap. And then take a moment to feel your work. So it's not about what we look like in the yoga practice. The diagnostic tool is how do I feel? You're tuning in, noticing any subtle sensations. So I'd like to suggest that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. And then when you're ready, an invitation to take 3 breaths here, nice long breaths. So inhale through your nose unless you're congested. Exhale, maybe making a ha sound if you like. Ha. Just exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So at this time, a gentle reminder, if you haven't got yourself on mute, encourage you to put yourself on mute. And so moving on, we'll roll our shoulders up, back and down. Maybe alternating from side to side. And then forward, down and back. But mostly wanting to open up our heart and chest, up, back and down. And then from here, sitting up tall, I'd like to invite you to reach your arm up. So in line with your shoulder, if that feels a little too high, maybe explore backing off a bit. So not higher than your shoulder. Turn your palm face up. With a soft bend in your elbow, I'd like you to notice, does it feel better to have your palm face up or palm face down? So we're rotating our thumb down towards the earth, towards the floor. Palm up. Turn your palm face up, then it's ready, extend your arm away. Bring your arm back center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Extend your arm away. Bring your arm back center. Palm face down, release. So an invitation to keep this movement flowing. However, this time, if it feels okay for your neck, when you bring your arm out to the side, gaze past your hand, your middle finger. Alternatively, if it doesn't feel good for your neck, keep a soft gaze forward. And I'd like to actually put my jacket on right now. I'm starting to feel a little bit nippy. I'm outdoors. It's beautiful today, but I'm actually surrounded by beautiful, mostly cedar trees, and it's a little cool in the shade. So I'm an old girl guide. I came prepared. Spent a lot of time outdoors in life. And so here we go. Make sure you have what you need to set yourself up comfortably. So depending on where you're tuning in, you might be too warm, maybe you're feeling a bit chilly. Always feel free to modify or adapt any way you need to. This is your yoga practice. And so, okay, here we go. I-O. Sitting up tall, feet are placed evenly on the floor on your footrest. If you'd like, you can visualize your feet. So visualization is powerful. Or maybe ground down to your sits bones. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen up to your spine. Shoulders back and down. So here we go. Reach up, spiral your palm open. And so the sound I'd like to invite you to explore is maybe a humming sound or the sound shh, whichever works best for you, as we bring our arm out to the side. So exhale, shh. So we know that sound has a vibration. Bring your arm back to center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Exhale, shh. Inhale, come back, center, palm face down, release. So let's practice this 2 more times on each side, reaching up, spiral your palm open. So soft gaze forward or gazing past your middle finger. Exhale, shh. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, moving with grace and ease. Exhale, shh. Come on back center, palm face down, release. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down, little wiggly fidget. So I'm not sure if I did 2 more on each side, but it felt like it was time to move on. So you can take a minute, notice how's your breath, our old friend or breath. And notice any subtle sensations. And can you name the sensation? Maybe you're feeling a little more energy than you did when we began the class. Maybe you're feeling fatigued. I have a friend who's spinal cord injured, a para, and he practices yoga. Sometimes he says he feels that energy moving along the spine, like a humming sound. And so no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. And so let's moving on, roll the shoulders up, back and down. So essentially this is not a big scrunch up towards our ears. We're just allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears. Relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. Then from here, I'd like to continue with the warm-up, beginning with our head. Bring your chin gently towards your chest. In your time, as you feel your neck is ready, turn a soft gaze looking at us. So maybe your eyes meet where the seam and the ceiling meet the wall. If you're outdoors, just being careful not to throw your head. And then we'll continue with a gentle movement up and down. So warming up the cervical area of our spine. You can add a little half smile if you like. Maybe the corners of your mouth upturned a little, and maybe even the corners of your eyes. So a little half smile, like a Buddha smile. And finish up the movement that you're on, and then take one ear towards your shoulder. If it feels comfortable for you, you might want to reach a hand across your opposite shoulder. So your choice as we move our head from side to side. So ear towards your shoulder. And I'd like you to notice, how does it feel maybe to tuck your chin in slightly as you do the movements? And finish up the movement that you're on. Bring your head back to center. As ready, turn a soft gaze looking towards your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then turn your head from side to side, as if nodding no. Remember your little half smile. So when we smile, it releases saliva. So we want a nice juicy mouth and juicy body. We've all been to the dentist. And then finish up the movement that you're on. Bring your head back to center. Pardon me. So essentially, we've moved our neck through 3 planes of movement. And now I'd like us to move down along the spine with a movement called cat and cow. More recently, I've been calling it either cat and cow or kitten and cow. So depending on what's going on with your spine, your body. So if you know it's contraindicated to go into a deep flexion extension, your piece would be kitten instead of cat. So more gentle movement, not going as deep. And alternatively, cat. And so I am going to invite you to continue to sit facing forward. However, I'm going to turn my chair sideways. So hopefully you get a better view of what's going on with the spine. So just shuffle a few things around. So essentially, hopefully, when we're able to target the thoracic area of our spine. And so if possible, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. It's okay to have your toes turned out a little. Walk your feet forward too, if that feels better for you. Hips, knees, ankles in line. And then as ready, I think for this, I better take the jacket off. So hands can rest on your thighs, your knees. And then as you're ready, round your back. So as you round your back, you're coming into kitten or cat. So it's as if we're drawing our chest in towards the ribs. And then the sternum lifts, moves forward, shoulders back. So linking your breath with your movement if you like. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. On inhale, arch your back. So this is the cow piece. Move. Round your back. Drawing your chest in. This is cat or kitten. Yeah. So inhale. Hands have a tendency to slide in towards our hips. If your skin is sensitive, feel free to hover above your legs. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your chest in. I like to place my hand, my fingers at my sternum for some of this. Pardon me. An invitation to continue this gentle warm-up in your own time and rhythm. And so move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that your movements and your breath become one. Finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spot. Relax both arms down by your side, then on your lap. And then come on seated comfortably. And take a moment or two to notice again how you feel. Notice any subtle sensations. So we need to be pretty tuned in. So we have proprioceptive awareness. So essentially knowing where our body is in relation to space, and introception. So knowing what's going on inside our bodies. How's your breath? Our old friend, our breath. Notice any subtle sensations. Okay. So moving on, sitting up tall, repose. And make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor or the ground. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back. And from here, I'd like to invite you to take hold of the underside of the chair, or on one side, pardon me. I'll mirror you, which I'm not great at, but you're the right side of your chair as you reach towards the earth, towards the floor. So you're reaching as if you're reaching to pick something up, all the while keeping both sits bones on the chair. So we want our shoulder lined up with shoulder. You can imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass, if that works for you, and then move from side to side. It might be helpful as we practice this movement, slow movements, to exhale as you reach towards the floor. Inhale, coming back center. Exhale to the other side. Or maybe at the moment it feels good just to inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. If you're feeling congested or you might have an obstruction, of course, breathe in whatever way you can. So you might notice that as we practice these gentle movements, perhaps the movements become more easeful. We're able to go a little bit, a little bit deeper. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. So from here, let's come into a twist. So again, for this piece, if you'd like, you could bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. Okay to have your toes turned out. So it creates a little more space for yoga belly. If your knee or knees are rotating inwards, please adjust, as that can be hard on the knees. So if they're flopping out or in, means you need to take either a little narrower stance or wider. And sitting up tall, begin at the base of the lumbar spine, moving up one vertebrae at a time. So moving up, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, coming into the twist slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Then maybe our shoulders come into the twist a little deeper, and then your head turns last. And so let's explore twisting from side to side. So moving more dynamically. And this is a gentle twist. And we're not going to our full range of movement. Walk your feet forward a little if that's helpful. All right, finish up the movement that you're on. Come back to neutral spine. Toe heel back in if necessary. Arms by your sides. Spiral your palms open. Open up your armpits. Get bigger in space. So maybe bringing your arms up in line with your shoulders. Turn your palms face up. Turn your palms face down. And then when you're ready, sitting up tall, if it feels okay for you, I'd like you to turn a gaze, soft gaze, towards your left hand. So I like to think of this as warrior pose, warrior arms. And then it's ready, bring your head back to center, and then turn a soft gaze, looking past your opposite hand. And come back center, and ooh, that was hard work. Hard on the neck, maybe. I was feeling in the back of my neck a little bit. So that said, let's do a little bit more for our neck. So you can walk your feet forward or your hips forward in the chair a little bit, maybe walk back, sit up tall. And then I'd like to invite you to tap the back of your neck. See, this just in. So I'm just I'm hoping to meet people where they are today. So, and then tap the crown of your head. Right, you can say, wake up, brain, wake up, brain. And then I'd like to invite you to imagine that you're shampooing your hair. So you're not just moving the hair around, you're moving your scalp. And you can get as wild and crazy with this as you'd like. So I used to be a hairstylist. One of my favorite things to do is head massage. So wild and crazy, wake up, brain, wake up, brain. And then smooth your hair out. You don't look too wild and crazy. And then when you're ready, maybe little love taps on your face. And then come down to your sternum. So tapping here lightly can help calm our nervous system. So lymph nodes in this area. Of course, you don't want to overdo it. And then bring your hands down to your belly. Place one hand on the other, and then as you're ready, move your hands in circular movements. Maybe moving your hands clockwise. So we're massaging our organs, our liver, our stomach. And then maybe come forward a little bit and see if you can take your hands to your lower back. And so send some loving energy from your hands to your lower back. And if you can reach up a little higher where your kidneys and adrenal glands live, send them some love. So adrenal glands, kidneys close to the surface. And the adrenal glands are almond shaped and they sit on our kidneys. Important to keep this area warm. And so then when you're ready, so the back of your hand can come to your sacrum or palm in, whichever, to enable you to sit up comfortably. And then sweep your hands forward. So inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, love, exhale, love. And a little bump dance. Woohoo. So let's continue with a bit more body tapping. So I'd like to tap the outside of your thighs. Only come down as far as feels comfortable for you. And then tap coming up the inner legs, inner thighs. Tap, tap, tap. So don't be shy. If you can get right into the groin area, lots of lymph nodes in that area as well. And then let's switch this up. So we're going to start the tapping this time from the inner thighs down and come up the outside. Yes. And then when you're ready, extend your arm out and out. Tap, let your shoulders soften away from your ear, then tap from the top of your head up to your shoulder, palm face up, tap down. So this is just called body tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Move the other arm, tap down. Yes. And then when you're ready, just take a moment or two and notice the effects of the body tapping. Pardon me. So I'm just going to lean into my iPhone a little bit so I can check the time. I'm prepping for eye surgery Saturday, so all's well. But I didn't bring my reading glasses, so I'm not sure what it's 37. Oh, good. Awesome. So my eyes are good, by the way. I had one surgery and this one a while ago and just got the report that it was just what they hoped for. Totally wonderful. And now I need to get my other eyeball fixed. I'll be good to go. So blessed to live in a world, a country where there's such brilliant surgeons can get these things taken care of. So repose, arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up, gentle back arch. Lift from above your shoulders, lift your heart. And then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Open up your armpits, get bigger in space. We tend to shrink. Take your hands to your heart space, bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up, gentle back arch. Lift your heart, lift from above your shoulder blades. Maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. So let's do this one more time. Arms by your side. Spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart space. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up, gentle back arch. Lift your heart, bend from above your shoulder blades. And maybe our hands come together in prayer and through the heart. Yes. And we fidget. And so from here, I'm wondering where shall we go? Maybe we'll get a little more movement into our feet. So I'd like to invite you, if you're not able to do the physical movement, I'm just going to move in for a minute. I just thought maybe there was a message from one of you, but no. Okay. Yeah, so visualize the movement, energy flows, where thoughts go, where breath goes. So an invitation to tap your toes. Or maybe push one foot down into the floor and then push your opposite foot down into the floor as you sit up tall. And then I'd like you to notice, can you feel one foot more than the other as you push down? Right, so that might have something to do with your hips. And tap, 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 roll front to back, your feet. And then maybe alternate from side to side. So if you are blessed with a yoga buddy, feel free to have your friend, yoga buddy, help you with the movements. Of course, not doing the work for you, but just going with whatever guidance you give them. And then sit up nice and tall. So we'll ground down through our feet, center and ground through the soles of our feet. So we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Or root down to your sits bone. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. So you do a little bum dance. In a way, when we're seated in the chair, sits bones act like the feet of our pose. Lengthen up through your spine, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And so today I'd like to reintroduce a breathing technique that I haven't shared for a while, but it's kind of popped up for me in the last few days, last day or two. And this is called lion's breath. So some of you may have heard of lion's breath. And so it's quite wonderful. And so the way it's practiced is we're sitting up tall. Hands can be resting on your thighs, wherever feels comfortable. So you can imagine your hands like lion's paws, feline paws. And then I'll demo first, and then you can watch and listen. And or if you know you've done it before, feel free. So essentially it looks like this. We inhale through the nose unless you're congested. Drawing your feline paws in towards your hips. And then on the exhale, paws come out, and we stick our tongue out as far as we can, touching your chin if you can, as you roll your eyes back. And we go, and release. So let's practice that a few more times. So of course I'm student first. And I used to think that it had to be a big roar, huge exhale. And I was actually mistaken. I had a lot of it. I understood a lot of it. But it doesn't have to be a big, huge sound to be a lion's breath. So here we go. Sit up tall. Inhale. Exhale. And we'll do this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, pause, come out, tongue on your chin or as far as you can reach, roll your eyes back. And release. And shake up. So I had a mentor years, well, not that many years ago. She passed away. She's almost 100 years old. And I loved her so much because I always felt she was the right combination of a lion and a lamb. And so lion's breath. I need to get a little more lion happening these days, it feels like. So maybe just itchy nose, you can rub your nose, tap your face, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll continue. So I have so many yoga toys in my yoga toy box. Sometimes I have to stop and think, where shall we go? So always good idea to make sure that your feet are placed evenly on the floor, sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine long, shoulders up, back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back. So everything we do in this chair yoga practice is done seated in the chair today. And I'm hoping maybe in the future to include maybe some standing poses for those of you who would like. However, today everything's done seated, and I'm sure that you'll be delighted if your first practice today in a chair, just how much can be done seated in the chair. And so enough talking. From here, I'd like to actually come into a movement I call finding our balance. So balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. Worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so you're sitting up tall. If you know balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair, comfortable. So I did bring a few yoga toys. So if it's helpful, you can roll up a blanket, maybe place it at your yoga belly. If that works for you. Walk your feet forward a little bit, maybe even have your feet a little wider than hip bone distance. And then sitting up nice and tall, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, hinging at the hips, will come forward a little. Noticing that sometimes we come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jut up. So tuck your chin in slightly. And then let's rock back up. So an invitation, pardon me, to move in your own time and rhythm. And I'm just going to set my blanket aside. So hands can be at your hips, maybe holding the chair, whatever works best for you. And so rocking forward, then rocking back up. So there's something about this rocking movement that our nervous system likes. And I tend to think that it's because our body mostly is made up of water. I think it's about 75% made of water. But I also think it has to do with having been in the womb, our mama's womb. And then it's ready. Come on back to a neutral spine. And then an invitation to circle your heart forward, keeping both sits bones on the chair, and then circle your heart back. So your circles might be a little larger, smaller than mine. And you might notice that if your circles are a little bit smaller, maybe we're getting into our core a little more, which is a huge topic, of course, not for this class. And maybe if your circles are larger, you might feel like you're getting into your hips and your lower back a little more. And bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. Take your awareness to the space above you. And then especially I'd like to invite you to take your awareness to the space behind you. And moving away from me to we, invitation to trust that we are being supported. As ready, begin to circle in the opposite direction. So our hips are ball and socket. We can move both ways. It's challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we don't know what's behind us. So feel free as you're practicing your movement to take a look around the space you're in. And then slowly come on back to stillness. Relax your arms by your side, then on your lap. And take a moment or two to allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And so while you're doing that, I'm just going to repose a little bit. I'm going to move my chair. The sun now is moving past the trees, so it's going to be in my eyes. And so I'll just adjust a little bit. So feel free to adjust your lighting, grab whatever you need to stay warm. We are going to transition into a more, an even more calming practice. Very long. So I'm just giving myself a little more support today with the upcoming eye surgery this weekend and recent surgery. So I really feel like part of the yoga practice, it's lovely, it has taught me about self-care. And I think that going even deeper than self-care is self-nurturing. And so all these beautiful yoga toys in our yoga toy box, and that I'm able to share with you. And so one of them is I have this little pillow filled with little grains. Little, not entirely sure, buckwheat maybe. And so a little bit of weight on our thighs can be calming for our nervous system. If your skin's particularly sensitive, that might not feel nice. So feel free to practice this for grounding. Alternatively, I always like to have a blanket nearby, a little bit of support for the back. So this nice pillow that kind of on the whole length of my spine. If you happen to have a yoga mat, you can roll your yoga mat up, place it along your spine. And so I chose 2 books today, curiously. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how it registers if the print's backwards for you guys when I bring it in. No, you can see it. It's called The Power of Trees, How Ancient Forests Can Save Us If We Let Them. Peter, of course, can't pronounce the name properly, probably. Woolhaben, author of the international bestseller, The Hidden Life of Trees. And the other little book that inspired me, Love Poems, Pablo Neruda. So he won that. He was a Nobel laureate. So, yeah, 1904 to 1973. Born in Chile. Love Poems. So curiously, I think it's in Spanish and English, so we'll save this for another day. Maybe on a full moon or something. And so I am going to read a little piece, and I'm just going to cross one leg over the other. So if you feel okay with one leg over the other, maybe reclined a little bit. So just find a comfortable sitting position. Sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. And so feel free to close your eyes softly if you'd like, or soft gaze downwards. And let's see what I can come up with here. Okay. Just going to maybe actually I'm just going to read about the author. I don't know if you can see this, so a little bit, and maybe something on the back page. So this is a magisterial take on how forests can save the planet from our worst endeavors. So I guess he's German. The German forester warns us against the hubris of tree planting. Instead, he sees the world needs the quiet magic of a natural forest restoration. We are, at best, stewards of the world's forests. We must stand back and let them grow. Fred Pierce. And that author was the author of A Trillion Trees. So through eye-opening stories, this author, whose name I won't try and pronounce again until I know for sure how to, underscores how trees and the biodiversity of the natural world present us with critically important solutions to the climate crisis. Anyway, a veritable tree whisperer. So one of the blessings in my life is that 11 years ago, coming up 12 years ago, one of my dreams came true. So sometimes the dreams, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, always manifest if we work for them apparently. So my husband and I moved to the Sunshine Coast from Vancouver and found this, what my husband refers to as cabinesque, this little cabin in the woods, welcome woods. So I fell in love with the land and the trees before I even saw the inside of our little cabin. And we had a little bunny rabbit who happened to hop into our lives about 7 years ago. And his name is Bobbie. And so a lot of us have pets. And so I'd like to invite you to maybe explore a nature connection wherever you are, if you're sitting inside or outside. So if you're sitting inside, you might have a window that you can look out at. Maybe you can see the rays of the sunlight, or maybe you're hearing rain, depending on where you are. Maybe you have a plant in your home, a picture, or even a little stone. A lot of us collect stones. So you might have that close by. And then making that nature connection. So earlier we sounded the sound ma to connect with Mother Nature. So maybe we can revisit that. And feel free to remove your glasses if that feels good for you, if you're wearing glasses. And so we'll breathe in, breathing out, sounding the sound ma, or even a humming sound if you like. Ma. And palms can be resting up or down as desired. Inhale. Ma. Inhale. Ma. And now I'd like to invite you to explore making a humming sound like a bumblebee breath. And so it doesn't need to be a big external sound. It's more about lengthening our breath, which is calming for our nervous system. So yogic breathing technique, inhale, making a humming sound. Inhale. And we'll do this just a few more times, humming bee or humming breath. And maybe notice if you feel vibration in your body or the space around you. And lips close lightly. Inhale. And then allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And maybe readjust a little bit, do whatever your body is asking of you. And then it's ready, come on back into a comfortable sitting position in preparation for your final relaxation. I'm just going to look at the time again. Awesome. We have 1 minute, which is great. So my teachers would say the two hardest poses in yoga are the final relaxation and mountain pose. And so the reason why final relaxation can be challenging, especially I think for some of us Westerners, is that it's asking us to be still. And so feel free to recline in your chair if you have that ability. Or maybe close your eyes softly. Or soft gaze downwards. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. So soft palms, soft yoga belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to breathe itself. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. So feel free to touch the areas I'm cueing if that's helpful for you, if it feels nice. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. And sweeping along your eyebrow lines. And silently, if you'd like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our yoga belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. And make sure that you're warm enough, that you're comfortable. And so without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. So to quote a dear friend, who I consider to be a dear friend, our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. And if your eyes were closed, gradually blink your eyes. And so lastly, an invitation to take a look around the space you're in and name 3 objects that you see to bring us back. With those neural connections. And so thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after yoga class. Questions or feedback, always love to hear from you. So I'm more than happy to hang out for a few minutes. Kausar will help facilitate that piece and otherwise. Peace, peace, peace. So peace for ourselves, first of all. Secondly, for maybe our family and friends, and then sending out some peace and love more globally and out into the community. Thank you. So I see you, all 3 of you. It's funny, you're all kind of, you look like in the old days when we used to take photographs in the little booths and you get little strips. That's how you're set up. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
That works really well for me. Anyway, see your laughter and your smile, so wonderful.
I have a question.
Oh, sure, love. Go ahead, Lynn.
I'm having trouble finding this on YouTube. So can someone explain just how to get there?
Yeah, Kausar.
I will give you the link 1 minute.
Oh, okay. You're going to send me the link?
I'll
Great.
put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Cool. Maybe I need to look at the chat too.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Mercedes, how are you?
Yeah.
Love?
Okay. There is an AGM for this for yoga, right? Is that correct? I know there is an AGM for this. Kausar, is there? There's an AGM, annual general meeting for this program. Is that correct or not?
It might be coming, but I don't have the information yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought there will be.
Yeah, there must be, but I
Okay.
don't exactly know, but I'll find out.
Can you let me know?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. I gotta go.
Okay. Rock on. I'll see you again soon.
Okay. Good luck with your eye surgery.
Oh, thank you. Saturday. I'll find out what time next day or 2. But yeah, I'm sure it'll go well, love. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll email you the link.
Bye. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye, Kausar. Thank you,
I'll
love.
see you guys next week.